Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free-to-air Nicomsat. Now the news in full. Department of State Services has granted administrative bail to the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero. He was released a few minutes before the 12 midnight ultimatum issued by the organized labor. Pro-democracy activist and presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, Omoyele Sowore, announced his release in a tweet last night. The Labour Party says there will be no automatic ticket for Peter Obi and Governor Alex Otti for Abia State in the 2027 presidential and governorship elections. The National Executive Council of the party said this in Abuja while addressing journalists. Obi was the party's presidential candidate in 2023 presidential election after defecting from the People's Democratic Party. President Bola Tinubu has sent his condolences to the government and people of Niger State over the petrol tanker explosion on the Bida-Ager-Lakpai road that claimed the lives of 48 people and livestock. The president, in a statement by Bayo Ononuga, his special advisor on information and strategy, directed relevant federal agency in transportation and road infrastructure to redouble their efforts and work with state governments to enhance the safety and security of travelers and residents. The National Orientation Agency, in collaboration with the National Population Commission and UNICEF, has launched a birth registration awareness campaign in Gombe State. The campaign, running from August to November 2024, aims to register all children aged 0 to 5 years, ensuring they receive a national identification number at no cost. The initiative seeks to guarantee that every child is officially recognized by the state, providing access to essential services like education and healthcare. Thousands of residents have fled their homes following a devastating flood in parts of Maiduguri, Borno State capital. Reports say most of the affected places are in Jire local government area. Borno State government had earlier ordered closure of schools over reports that the flood in the state could worsen within 48 hours. Many residents of Fori, Gatamari, Gwaije and Babulem were displaced. A larger part of Maiduguri metropolis, including the Shehu of Borno's Palace, the State Secretariat, the Nigerian Customs Service Office, State Specialist Hospital, amongst others, have been submerged by water following the collapse of the Alau Dam in Kanduga, local government area of Borno State. The millionaires' quarters around Gambari Ward and its environmental were also flooded. At the popular Lagos Bridge and the Momoganari Bypass Bridge have been submerged and inaccessible. Meanwhile, the recent flood that ravaged some communities in Kafanchan and some other villages in Jama'a local government area of Kaduna State have been reported to have swept away 2 children and displaced over 1,000 citizens. Vice Chairman of Jama'a local government, Christy Usman, disclosed this when she reviewed the Kaduna State Impact Assessment Committee on Flood on a tour of affected communities in southern Kaduna. She said the floods in parts of Kafanchan Municipal City, Jinjidi, Atiku, Aso and Badi wards also washed away farmlands, destroying crops worth millions of naira. You are watching Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When Midday News returns, Hamas says Israeli strike killed 40 in Gaza safe zone. Details of these and more after this break. Please stay with us. This is Global Television, bringing you live broadcasts of Midday News. Thank you for staying with us on our business desk now. Oil marketers say they are concerned about the delay in announcing the price of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, being produced by the Dangote Petroleum Refinery, as they noted that the landing cost of imported PMS is now about 1,120 to the liter. Dealers stated that a high PMS price from the Dangote refinery will lead to the importation of commodity by marketers, since the government has opened up the market for competition. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, and its joint venture partner Chevron Nigeria Limited are targeting an oil production rate of 165,000 barrels per day by December 2024. Both companies concluded the conversion of 5 of its joint ventures assets into the Petroleum Industry Act (PIA) terms in line with the Petroleum Industry Act 2021 provision of transiting assets from the petroleum profit tax into PIA terms. NNPCL, which made this known, also stated that under the new PIA regime, all existing oil prospecting licenses and oil mining licenses will be automatically converted to petroleum prospecting licenses and petroleum mining licenses upon their expiration. Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule says the state government is committed to encouraging the use of liquefied natural gas and compressed natural gas biofuel by motorists and motorcyclists across the state. He also noted that the state government has concluded plans to establish liquefied natural gas and compressed natural gas biofuel system conversion centers in the 3 senatorial zones of the state. The governor explained that the move was aimed at providing alternative to premium motor spirit following the insistent price hike that trailed the removal of subsidy by the federal government. Over now to Nigeria's telecom sector risks shutdown as about 800 workers from the Private Telecommunications and Communications Senior Staff Association have embarked on strike, threatening to cripple services nationwide. The nation largely contact staff warned of massive disruption to telecom operations if its demands were not met, as they would leave millions of subscribers to face potential communication blackout. The strike began on Monday, and the union's demand include, among other things, reinstatement of some of the sacked workers, recognition of union, improved working conditions, and remittance of membership dues. The Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation, the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Bank of Industry, and some financial institutions will be discussing the impact of current recapitalization on the real sector at the 2024 Finance Correspondents Association of Nigerian Conference. A statement by the organization noted that the event would address Nigerians' ambitions, goals of achieving $1 trillion economy. On our foreign news now, the former boyfriend of Ugandan athlete Rebecca Cheptegei, who died after he set her on fire, has himself died after succumbing to burns. This is according to an official at the Kenyan hospital where he was being treated. Dixon Indiama had ambushed the marathon runner as she returned home from church more than a week ago before dousing her with petrol and setting her ablaze. Local administration said the two have been in conflict over a small piece of land in northwest Kenya where Cheptegei lived and trained. Indiama died on Monday night at the intensive care unit where he had been admitted with more than 30% burns. Russian officials say they have shot down 144 Ukrainian drones after the country overnight in a wave of attack that have killed one woman, set residential buildings on fire, and grounded flights in Moscow. The governor of Moscow, Andrei Varobov, said several flats in 2 high-rise apartment buildings in Romaskove in Moscow region were set on fire. Varobov said a 46-year-old woman died and 3 people were injured in Romaskov, while 43 people were evacuated to temporary accommodation centers. At least 40 people have been killed in southern Gaza and dozens more injured in Israeli strike on a designated humanitarian zone. The Hamas-run Civil Defense Authority has said the Israeli military said its aircraft attacked an operation center in Khan Yunis belonging to Hamas fighters, and it had taken steps to mitigate risk of harming civilians. Local residents say 3 strikes targeted tents housing displaced people in the humanitarian zone of Al-Wasi, west of the city of Khan Yunis, causing 7-meter-deep craters. Over now to sports. After a convincing 3-0 win over Benin Republic in their opening AFCON qualifier, Nigerian Super Eagles are looking to continue their winning streak against Rwanda at the Amahoro National Stadium in Kigali today. Oyo State Governor for Youth and Sport Wasilat Adegoke says over 250 athletes and 58 officials from the state would participate in the 2024 National Youth Games, organized by the Federal Ministry of Sports for the under-15 athletes. The under-15 athletes were drawn from the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The Commissioner made the announcement while addressing them before their departure at the Lekan Salami Stadium in Ibadan, the state capital. And that's it on Midday News, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Remember, we are on DSTV channel 365, Star Times channel 276, and free to air. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms by using the Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon.